Good afternoon and welcome to Twerton Park for this afternoon's National League South fixture between Bath City and Dorking Wanderers. For City this afternoon, well, it's a free shot, a chance to measure their progress against one of the title contenders. Set up by their dominant display and 5 goals at Hampton and Richmond, this suddenly looks much more of a challenge to Mark White's team than would have been the case a few months ago. If further evidence of that is required, then just look at the form guide over the last 6 games. City have 11 points in those games, Dorking just 9. City 3 victories against the Wanderers 2. Both sides have lost to Torquay during that time, but both by 1-0. The only goal that City have conceded over the last 6. It suggests an even contest, despite the two teams occupying contrasting positions in the league table. While City can bask in knowing the result, it won't impact on their season. A defeat today for the visitors, though, would seriously damage their chance of the title, given that any one of at least 5 sides stand every chance of that coveted top spot. Well, we're undefeated and undaunted on Bath City Radio. I'm joined for full match commentary this afternoon by Chris Chappell.
And we are kicking off here at Twerton Park with Dorking Wanderers on the ball and knocking it downhill, where 𝗛𝗚𝗚𝗛𝗚𝗛𝗧 heads the ball back forward. So yeah, in a back 3, and immediately Clark takes up the left-hand side and feeds Ash's offside to Tony Craig, former Bristol Rovers favourite, 4 times a Millwall player. He's still going strong at 39. So Mark White likes to get experienced pros in. Rutherford shoved off 𝗛𝗚𝗛𝗛𝗧, got onto his left foot and smashes the ball against the crossbar. It rebounds into the area and it's over on the left-hand side now. But that was a thunderous strike, wasn't it? Yeah,
lucky escape there for City, because first of all, Greenslade was sort of doubled up out on the halfway line. The ball robbed from him, and then 𝗛𝗚𝗛𝗛𝗧 slipped just at the crucial moment, and it left the goal pretty much clear, but hit the crossbar.
Long throw specialist launches it to the area, bounces once, and it's headed goalwards by the defender Brennan Camp, but it was quite a tame header. Yeah, well, Rutherford did ever so well to shrug off 𝗛𝗚𝗛𝗛𝗧, and he had a clean hit and perhaps put a bit too much power onto it. He almost snapped the bar in half. And still 0-0. He's taken down the right by Newitt. The wing-back carries it into the area, looks for a cutback. Rutherford is just behind him, and then a timely challenge comes in from Tilson, and he's caught by Melville Williams. Played by Russ again. And Camp sends it high and long. It's Tomlinson trying to hold off Rutherford. Just pushes him out to the edge of the box. Rutherford turns and tries to get into his left foot again. How it's a shot that hit the bar.
Tomlinson did well there, kept very close to him, didn't he?
Yeah, it was a one-on-one. Cross comes in, Tomlinson again. Clears the danger, heads it out towards the corner flag on the right. Nicely done by Clark. Steals in and then nutmegs his opponent and goes around the outside of Gallagher. Doesn't get the free kick. No one, the referee, no Clark. He's not given anything really. Beardmore on loan from Exeter. Delivers left-footed along the ground. Bounces awkwardly and it's almost turned in by Wilson. Just wide. Goal kick. Run up to the line. Here it comes from Taylor. In towards Wiles Richards and grabs it on the full. No one really challenged him that time.
In a perverse sort of way, it probably didn't help him being so close to the corner flag, because throwing at that angle, I mean, it should always be the keeper's, really, shouldn't it?
Yeah, he didn't really offer anything too dangerous there. Wiles Richards saw it all the way. And now Clark tries to chip it in, and Ash has a chance inside the defence, lifted over the keeper, and it's into the back of the net. The Romans hit the front against high-flying Dorking Wanderers with just 19 minutes on the clock, and Brad Ash is in a rich form and gets to double figures for the season. This is 7th for the Romans, and it's number 10 for the campaign. Bath City 1, Dorking Wanderers 0.
And what a goal poacher he is, isn't he? I mean, not dissimilar from the goals at Hampton and Richmond. And you could say they're a stroke of luck, but as Darren Wade pointed out, they're not, because he puts so much work and effort in on closing down keepers and closing down players, and that's exactly how he got that goal. nothing really happening. He just seized the opportunity, raced into the space, and then did the really clever bit, just lobbed the keeper as he was coming out, which looks very simple, but when you're still running forward, not so easy. I think that's his 7th in the league this season, is that right?
He's got 10 altogether, 7 for City. And, he's got the ball again out on the right-hand side, plays it into 𝗛𝗚𝗚𝗛𝗚𝗛, now Clark controls it on his thigh and fires it wide of goal.
Yeah, he had to do that, Clark. The ball was bubbling up on him. He really had to shoot it. If he tried to bring it down and get it under control, I think he'd have lost the ball.
Finds its way to 𝗛𝗚𝗚𝗛𝗚𝗛, and it's ricocheted almost to Clark, and Tilson fancies a shot first time and doesn't really get hold of it.
If you watched Tilson's superb 5th goal last week, then this was the exact opposite of that.
Fulks with the goal kick, goes long through the middle. It's come to Rutherford now. Pryor, and it's a bobbly effort. It's easily gathered by Miles Richards, but a shot on target. I think the grandstand side. A little skip gets the ball. It's quite a flat delivery. Comes off a defender in a flicked header. Could have gone anywhere. Parcell clears it away, and 𝗛𝗚𝗚𝗛𝗚𝗛, one arm in the air, and here he comes, left footed. It's a good delivery. Looking for Parcell, who was being held and sort of lean back and try and volley it in with the end of his toe. Yeah, he's up against some tall lads in the middle, and he's giving as good as he's getting in there. Clark gets a shove in the back from Gallagher. Again, no free kick from this pretty relaxed referee. Parcell thunders the ball high just to get it clear, and it bounces once in the 18-yard box.
I think that was a serious mistake by the referee, because Ewan Clark was actually off his feet when he was barged.
Good tackle from 𝗛𝗚𝗚𝗛𝗚𝗛. Has been pulled back by Taylor, and he's got the free kick.
And that was potentially dangerous, I think.
Yeah.
So there's going to be a booking now.
Yeah, it's going to be the long throw specialist, Josh Taylor. And this one finally goes. 𝗛𝗚𝗚𝗛𝗚𝗛 to Clark, and now 𝗛𝗚𝗚𝗛𝗛𝗚𝗚𝗛𝗚 whips it in. And it's straight down the throat of goalkeeper Harrison Fulks. Russ heads the ball into the air. Ash trying to hold off Milsom to get hold of it. It's nodded across to Norville Williams, and now 𝗛𝗚𝗚𝗛𝗚𝗛, who's getting involved in the physical duels as well. Down like Taylor, he put his hand on the ball as if to say that have a free kick here, and the handball has been awarded and a free kick to the Romans. And he had a good long chat with Josh Taylor, who's on that yellow card. It's giving him the benefit of the doubt. Here comes 𝗛𝗚𝗚𝗛𝗚𝗛. Looks for Tomlinson, and it's a scruffy one that Craig scrambles away. Now Clark hits it as it dropped, but slightly pulled. Here comes Rains past the assistant. Puts in towards the near post. Tomlinson being held, and it's come to Wilson, and the header is just over the top, slightly underneath it from that flick, and couldn't really get it on target that time. And it's over to Newitt on the right as Dorking attack the Bath City penalty area. He's pushed out to the right hand side. Newitt digs a cross out, and as far as Russ, and now Ewan Clark with a short pass to Ash, and that's it for the first half, in which the Romans have more than matched third place Dorking Wanderers, and have got the match's only goal with Brad Ash again on the score sheet.
I mean, it's not the first time they've done this. Obviously, when they went down to Truro, they stayed overnight. Mark White had a long complaint about a burger, I think, in that one. I'm not quite sure what, but I remember it.
Big header from Parcell, finds Ash on the right side of the box, goes this way and that, and looks to cross it, and the delivery is deflected out for a corner. Nicely found by Parcell, that. It's out to Camp, the right back now. Gets a cross in, no, doesn't it? Hits Tilson. And deflects to Taylor, and now Taylor gets around Greenslade. Briggs squares it, and he's tucked in at the far post by Jimmy Newitt. The change of formation at half-time has paid dividends after just 7 minutes. And Dorking Wanderers have found an equaliser. They got in on the right-hand side, squared it across goal, And 𝗚𝗚𝗚 tucked it home for his 9th goal of the season. And it's now Bath City 1, Dorking Wanderers 1.
Yeah, it was a nice move from Dorking. You feel once they got past the City defence on the Dorking right and that cross was put in, it was very deliberately placed for Mewns to run onto, and he took it well.
Awkward jump by 𝗚𝗚𝗚. He's moved to the left wing from the right, scoring that goal early in the second half to make it 1-1. Clark, ball breaks for him and now sends it back towards Tilson, and there's a foul on Clark, who's again...
Yeah, he was taken down after the ball had gone. It's Alfie Rutherford that did it. And I think Rutherford here should get a booking. Rutherford enters the book, gives the ref a dismissive wave.
In the 14th minute of the second period, all square after the 1-goal half-time lead was cancelled out by Dorking. It was kept in play by Ash. Cross deflects out from Reigns, and that's going to be a City corner. Clark dashes across to get it short from 𝗛𝗚𝗚𝗛𝗚𝗏, and now Clark from a better angle curls it deep towards Tomlinson, back into the area. Wilson slips, 𝗛𝗚𝗏, edge of the box, takes it out to the left. Cross deflects off the boot of Craig, and it's a very wafty clearance. Then he goes as far as Wilson, floated to the right-hand side. Ash tussling with Camp, and it's out for a throw in on the right.
No, I think Bath had probably had a disproportionate number.
That's Rutherford on the edge of the area, and he's swept it to 𝗚𝗚𝗚𝗛𝗏 again, and this time his body's in the way and they block it to go out for a throw-in. But this round play back underway with the throw. Taylor looks for the near post, punched away single-handedly by Miles Richards, and then the shot from 𝗚𝗚𝗚𝗛𝗏 is blocked by Wilson. It's broken for Rutherford, who fires it into the left corner, and Dorking Wanderers are in front. Rutherford, the top scorer, 19 for the season now, and they just couldn't get that long thrown away from goal. 𝗚𝗚𝗚𝗛𝗏's shot was blocked, and then it broke for Rutherford in a crowd of players, and he smashed it home. Miles Richards could do nothing with that, and it's City 1, Dorking Wanderers 2 now.
Yeah, it was a fortuitous goal, really. City weren't able to clear the ball. It came to Rutherford probably about 16 yards out, I'd say, and there was a crowd of players blocking Miles Richards' view. I don't think he really stood much of a chance with that, but Rutherford hit it exceptionally well, put real power behind it, hit it low and hard, and this time it didn't ricochet off anybody, as so many of those attempts have so far this afternoon.
Fisher, Alves and Batten and Freer as well emerging from the dugout.
Well, the first one is going to be Jordan Alves.
And he's on for 𝗛𝗚𝗚𝗛𝗏. Then it's Fisher.
He's for Scott Wilson.
So Greenstone off for Freer, more attacking left-sided option. And then Batten for Ewan Clark for the final change. So we may well see a change in system. And Russ gets hold of it and swings it out towards Ash on the right side. He's up against Craig, who's not the quickest. Ash gets a shot in, deflected. Good save by keeper Folks. And the clearance is completed by 𝗚𝗚𝗚𝗛𝗏.
It's interesting, the attacking players, that Ash is the one that's been kept on. He's been bumped a little bit this afternoon, but he's clearly seen as the man most likely to unlock the Dorking defence, and the Dorking keeper has gone down. Not quite sure why. Oh, he's holding his shoulder.
Yeah, it's just sort of his right armpit. He made a really good save because it was a deflected shot, so he would have had to adjust as he dived for the ball, kept it out with a strong hand. As this corner comes in from the right, it's floated, it's pulled away, and it almost fell kindly for Batten, but Folks, at the second time of asking, got hold of the ball. Curl on it, into the pack, and here it comes. Headed back across goal by Campbell. Miles Richards there at the near post to grab the ball. And now, good run, Taylor, and he's just fired a shot straight into the body of 𝗛𝗚𝗏𝗛𝗏. Briggs carries it towards the byline. It's flicked off the shins of Batten, and he's going to wait for the throw-in. And the ball breaks for 𝗛𝗏𝗏𝗛𝗏. Russ knocks it across to the right-hand side, and it's offside against Ash, who's just lurking on the edge of the Dorking defence. Flag goes up. Free kick to the visitors. Taylor dinks it forward looking for Briggs, but it's away by Batten. No real flow to the game as it keeps going on the play. Camp's got something stuffed up his left nostril.
I'd like to think it's probably a piece of cotton wool.
It's a funny shape.
I'd like to think it's a rolled up piece of cotton wool.
Oh, the card's coming out here towards the City bench. It's going to be Darren Way, I think. He's talked himself into a booking. The fourth official scribbling away as ever. And Darren Way joins the select few. So he must have said quite a bit to talk his way into the notebook there. And as you were saying, with the fourth official, I think he's doing all the writing down. An innocent shrug from Way. And now there's arguments over where the throw-in's being taken.
I always hesitate to say this. I think the referee's lost a bit of control here, partly through the incessant time wasting. And I'm not surprised he can't remember where the throw was being taken because it was so long ago.
And he's left it for Briggs to take, and that has tested the patience too much. And it's a second yellow card for Josh Taylor. A silly second yellow. When you're on a booking to do that, and he's going to have to leave his team run late for the last 15-20 minutes of this game, and serve a suspension as well.
Well, needless to say, the Dorking bench has gone apoplectic at this. They've rushed over and instantly started abusing the fourth official. There's now a whole bunch of players in the centre of the pitch. But I think to some extent the referee is justified. But also it's partly because he's allowed so much time wasting to go on then instantly that's the kind of problem which he's created a little bit.
The arguments have carried on all the way into the centre circle.
I have no idea whether Taylor's actually left the pitch or not, has he?
No, he's followed the referee over to the other side, which isn't going to help his suspension because it might be.
Well, he could turn it into.
There's a yellow there for Brad Ash and for the number 16 Charlie card to the captain. So it's getting a bit out of control, as you were just alluding to.
But I think the problem started some time ago with the kind of incessant time wasting, which is still going on.
And finally, Taylor does leave the pitch and is ushered down the tunnel. But there was a bit back chat from the assistant, the Dorking Wanderers assistant, with someone in the crowd.
Fourth official has come over now with his cards in his hand.
And there's a bit of something going on in the tunnel because Taylor's come back. So he went down the tunnel, he's come back up.
Mark White's now joined in. Wisely, the City bench are staying well clear of this.
And now Briggs is looking to take the throw back up the field from where they were originally trying to take the throw in. And then they were asked to go all the way back down in front of the dugout. And there's a yellow card from Mark White now as well. So both managers have picked up a card. And they got a fine as well. Amongst all that, Brennan Camp is getting some more tissue for his nose. And we're going to get another substitution or two with Niall
referee and the fourth assistant engaged in comparing notes. I think just so they can remember who they have booked and who they haven't.
Who have you got?
Yes.
Got me.
I haven't got him.
So, in a minute, a football match is going to break out.
Well, this is really very silly. I would say in about the last 20 minutes, we've probably had something like 8 minutes of play. And there's still argument after argument going on with the fourth official, pointing all the time.
But he's not going to unbook it and bring him back on. And they keep pointing down the pitch. So the throw is now being taken as far forward as you can imagine when the yellow card was given for an attempted throw-in about 25 yards near the halfway line.
I think Dorking now are about to make a substitution, which they could have made ages ago, and the referee, well, I am not at all sure. I think the referee's come over to talk to his assistant, who presumably is saying they're not taking the throw from where you asked them to.
Well, see, what's going on? So now the referee, Pratt's asked for the throw to be taken back down the pitch again, and Matt Briggs has dropped the ball in front of the assistant. Jordan Tilson comes over to get the ball. Yeah, it's the ball. Get on with it.
And Briggs goes back to the
and drops the ball
position.
again. It's like clowns in the circus.
The referee's asked for a player to change his shirt. I think it's Elliot Freer's being asked to change his shirt. Don't know whether Freer's got a knock or not. The referee now indicating where the throw should be taken from, but no Dorking player is interested in doing it. They've left the ball up the field. And I have to say, this is, I think, really pretty shameful from Dorking. They're just doing everything they can to waste as much time as possible.
Yeah.
And I mean, the referee, I think, has played into this. He didn't stamp down on it early enough, and consequently now he's in a complete mess, with the throw now reverting back to being taken in front of the City dugout, which is where it should have been taken probably about 10 minutes ago. We're now only 2 minutes of this match left.
I'm underway.
And after all that, the ball is thrown into touch and it's a goal kick. I do not believe it.
Now Tomlinson sends it into the box. It's over Fisher's head. Briggs in space heads it across the area and out. And it's kept in play on the right touchline for the Romans. Alves drops the shoulder, comes back now to his left foot again. He was looking for Parcell and Tilson got in the way. Eventually it does find Parcell. Batson steps in. Shins clearance goes up into the air. And it's flagged for a corner by the assistant. It's been very silly indeed this second half. Corner's in. Oh, the keeper doesn't really deal with it. It's in! The goal! Parcell has forced it in with the goalkeeper making a light mess of it at the far post. He dropped the ball and Parcell just smashed it. It's not a goal because a free kick has been awarded. So it remains 2-1 to Dorking Wanderers. The keeper went down and has obviously managed to claim a free kick and all that. Parcell smashed it in. The referee pointed back towards the middle of the pitch, but as is often the case, I find with penalties and goal kicks that it's a bit confusing, that hand gesture. And the crowd were cheering. Parcell was running away in celebration, but the goalkeeper just put it down. And so, late drama and very extensive stoppage time.
The referee's just booked for kicking the ball away. I think
it's the sub.
Yes,
just come.
yes.
Yeah. You can see some aversion to the ball again from Dorking Wanderers as first one and then two players leave it as if it's scaldingly hot.
You'd kind of like to think that they're better than this, really, wouldn't you? I mean, it's as a paying spectacle, they've done everything they can in the last 20 minutes to spoil this game, which there was no need to do. I mean, the first half was good. Their two goals were really good. It's just kind of petty, you feel.
Yeah.
And it's almost like a statement saying we're not good enough to actually do well in this.
Yeah, shot up shot. Alves from the shot outside the area, hits the body, comes back to him, and he's knocked over, and the referee's getting a free kick to Dorking Wanderers because there was a collision between Jordan Alves following up his initial shot and Noel McManus. And as a judge, the contact have been a bit more from Alves, and it's free kick to Dorking Wanderers. Using all the tricks in the book, time wasting,
berating in the officials. I mean, he's constantly in the
injury.
fourth official's ear, and you think, well, why?
Nice bit of trickery from Briggs to get over the head of batting, and the shot is just off target. Parcell, everyone in red, trying to defend this lead now. It's a bouncing ball goes over Reigns' head, and Holder's chasing it, and he was bumped over. I think it took a touch of the Wanderers player last for a corner. It almost found its way on target just a moment ago. Here's his corner. Quite a flat one, looking for Tomlinson, and then it's hit a goal by Reigns, and it's in! On the goal line! It's being claimed by Tilson for the second Saturday running. And Bath City deep into stoppage time. 90 minutes plus 12. Jordan Tilson levels it up. And it's 2-2 here at Dorking.
Well, we called the Kieran Parcell goal a bit prematurely, and eventually that was disallowed. But this time, absolutely no mistake. It was a good corner. It was a flick on, and from close range, the ball headed home. And, well, we talked about justice being done, and I feel that's all the justice I would want. And Mark White now standing with his hands on hips, looking a little disconsolate. But, you know, they've played into this situation. Had they not engaged in all the shenanigans that we've seen in this second half, they would have won this match. They'd have been in the bar by now and celebrating a victory.
Perhaps they sense a winner, the Ravens. And that's it, full time. And the second half full of ups and downs, drama, cards. It just went crazy. And there was not much football played for them. And then right at the end, City rescue it with a close range Jordan Tilson goal as they match third place Dorking Wanderers and come away with a 2-2 draw. It's 5 unbeaten at home for the Romans, and it's 13 unbeaten away for Dorking Wanderers as they try and keep their noses in the title fight, which is really topsy-turvy at the top of National League South. But I think City deservedly got something out of the game after Brad Ash had them in front at half-time. 2 goals in the second half from Newitt and Rutherford looked to have won it. But right at the end, the 102nd minute, Jordan Tilson with the leveller.
You have to say that, well, I suppose in a way you did get your money's worth, but not necessarily of football in that second period. And I mean, City, they did everything they could. It was a fine battling performance from them. Ash getting that goal early in the second half. We always felt there was going to be extra goals in this game. And Dorking came back in that second period with the goal, first of all to Minnis, and then the goal to Rutherford to make it 2-1. But it was then the shenanigans started. It was then Dorking did everything they could to waste time, and often stupidly so, like taking throw-ins miles from where it was supposed to be. They paid the penalty. They paid it first of all in Josh Taylor, getting a double yellow card and being sent off. Well, that produced, you know, more arguments than Putin trying to negotiate with Zelensky. And then, you know, there was arguments all over the pitch. The referee ran from one official to another. You didn't have a clue what was going on. 12 minutes of additional time were signalled. And really, you felt there was that chance, the Kieran Parcell goal that was disallowed, and you thought the game had then gone. City were looking a bit tired, but then right at the death, they got that corner, ball into the box, and Tilson putting it away from close range. And I think a result that is fair if the match from a Dorking point of view for some of this game was played in unfair conditions.
Yeah, well, it was a very strange game, wasn't it? Because there was a lot of time wasted, excessively so. It was almost a comedy where they were leaving the ball for a throw-in. They had ages to wait before a throw-in, and then they would drop the ball, and then it was almost like, as you say, clowns at the circus, exactly. And they were winding up the officials, and eventually the right thing happened with City scoring that goal, because they were the only team trying to play it in the right manner, weren't they?
They were. Well, thanks for being with us this afternoon. Somewhat longer, perhaps, than you imagine. You can go off now and have your cup of tea and your sarnie, but do come back. And City away at Farnborough on Good Friday, and then the final home game of the season, an absolute blockbuster down here at Twerton Park. Let's pack the place for a home game against Chippenham Town. But that's all this afternoon as Bath City drew 2-2 with Dorking Wanderers. Have a great weekend.